listening to the Shite Talk podcast show. Shut up and sit down.
Welcome once again to the Shite Talk podcast show. Mark 10.
What's the crack?
On episode 218 of the Shite Talk podcast show.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at my emails, and I actually, my personal emails, I went through and I deleted all of them. And then I scrolled over and I seen where my podcast emails are, and there's 200, and I'm like, oh. So if you did try to get in touch with the show, we will get back to you eventually. We don't check our emails that often, but when we do,
200
emails. It's like, I don't know if it's just like the whatever new emails I had on my own and then this podcast, but there's at least 100 emails from because I think there's 99 on my own personal one again. They just add up so quick. Delete all and then start again.
Just mark all as red.
Yeah, mark all as red. Gone.
Job is done.
Well, that is the thing. It's like I had every day. Because I don't have notifications on any of my apps. So I don't get little red dots unless it's a messaging app. So it's kind of weird because like if anyone messages me on Instagram, I don't get a red dot on my phone, or it doesn't pop up of a notification on my phone to say someone messaged me. So like if anyone contacts me on Instagram, I never know unless I'm on the app. But all my other messaging apps and emails, I do have notifications. And yeah, just every scrolling past and just seeing that the number climbing every day gives me anxiety. Can't deal with it. So it's kind of like when your room gets really messy. You're like, oh, now this is just too big of a job to tackle.
Yeah, I just leave this now. This is just the way I live now.
I should have kept on top of it. I haven't. I paid the price. I don't have enough time to deal with this shit right now.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, talking about enough time to deal with this shit right now. We do have a lot of time to deal with all our lovely stories. It was a bad segue.
All our lovely shit.
All our lovely shit. And do you know what? I kind of feel like I've went down a weird rabbit hole as of late in terms of my stories. And this week it's quite odd. But like I think it's like classic Mark story picking here. So I'll be talking about living in a simulation. It's a favourite topic of the Shite Talk podcast show.
Yeah, one of our all-time favourites.
All-time favourites, talking about the metaverse. Ken doesn't even know about the metaverse, which I thought you'd be all over this and like against it. But like you haven't heard of the metaverse, and I was like, oh my god, I thought you'd be so like, this is a stupid idea. I can't believe we'd let him run it. Like he's the worst person in the world. Like possibly.
Well, more than likely, that will be the reaction.
That will be the reaction. You don't know when I say he. You don't know like who is it? Donald Trump, Bill Gates. But we'll get onto the metaverse, and I'll explain to Ken what the metaverse, just in case any of our listeners don't even know what the metaverse is, and they're like, tell us. Then we'll be talking about sex dolls, and they could possibly kill us all as well, Ken.
Oh, those are sex doll STDs.
Yeah, well, not even no STDs. They could physically kill us, like with knives and shit.
Oh,
I kind of feel like if a sex doll kills you, you probably deserve to be killed.
Yeah.
If it goes, I must kill this person.
Must kill human.
Yeah, so I'll be talking about when sex doll kills. This is like the Shite Talks Black Mirror episode, pretty much. And then our idiot of the week is a woman who got held hostage. She got held hostage by a very odd thing, and now she's an idiot of the week. I was going to ruin the story, but I was just going to say our idiot of the week is a woman who got held hostage. I kind of think that leaves it on a cliffhanger. People are like, wait, you are really actual assholes, which, you know, you could be right. We could be just assholes. Or this woman is a fucking complete idiot.
Yeah, or both.
Or both. Have you ever been held hostage?
No.
There was a story. There was a family in Kerry went viral when they got held. I don't think they got held hostage. I think a bat kind of like just got trapped in their house. Remember that?
Oh yeah. The Flemings, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then they start doing dances during lockdown. You're like, okay, this family is just craving attention too much.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we should try to target our TikTok because it's the only platform we're not on. We should start doing TikTok. So I don't think our kind of show is like suitable for TikTok. Like I don't think we can do
I don't
anything in
think
30
it's
seconds.
for TikTok.
Well, no. Well, there's probably one or two things we could do in 30 seconds. Dun, dun.
Yeah,
You're not for the whole TikTok thing, are you?
No.
Imagine a Chinese ran metaverse.
TikTok is right. This is my take on TikTok. TikTok is the idiot of the week, just for everyone.
For everyone.
Like people on TikTok are generally morons.
Oh, people! Like, I think when you get a large group of people on any platform, you're going to get a couple of idiots. Like you're always going to get like.
You're always going to get a couple of idiots, but like the level of fucking sheer gobshites on TikTok is way up there.
Ah, yeah. So like this metaverse, right?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, you know, when as you get older, you're not kind of up with the whole latest technology.
Yeah.
And so you start to fear it almost. So like, I think we're kind of like this with TikTok. We're just that little bit too old. We didn't go up with the movement, and we're like, oh, they're idiots with their short videos and they're dancing.
It's not that you fear it. Like it's fucking retarded.
Like I often hear like people who are older than us talk about like digital currency and like how like they're going to take all our coins away. It's like it's kind of going that way anyway. Like I can't remember the last time I had change. I like not having change. I kind of like just like tapping. It's just easy. So they feel like no, it's not just not just pin on your phone. They're going to take away. They're going to control the cash. And it's like they already control that cash. That's what central banks do. So like I kind of feel like, and same with this metaverse. I was going to thought we were going to have a discussion where it's going to be like a for and against kind of thing. Because I'm for the metaverse. I'm for a connected universe digitally. Just don't spend too much time on it. Just be able to come off it. But Facebook basically decided that they had a genius idea. It was to create a company called Meta. So that like if someone tries to sue Facebook, there's only like $4 in Facebook, and they're like, okay, here's your $4. And they just put all their assets into Meta. So they can't actually sue Meta because they don't really do anything. They're just like a holding company. So like that's but what they want to use Meta as is to have their kind of apps like Facebook, Instagram just do their normal thing, but also create a online like interactive world, basically. Kind of like if you've ever seen OK Player, or is it OK Player One or
Ready Player One?
Ready Player One, where your man puts on these virtual goggles and is able to go into this virtual world and is able to race, have races with their friends online, go to a coffee shop, go to a concert online, and be able to have all these interactive experiences just online instead of actually doing them in person.
Yeah, or you could actually just go and do stuff.
Yeah, which would, you know what, I think most people would much prefer to like go to a concert physically rather than like do it virtually. But like I think there's some really interesting ways where this could actually lead down, and maybe not necessarily they're not all good. And I'm pretty sure if anyone watched Black Mirrors, it shows a very dark side of where this can lead. But I think it's also over dramatization of what a kind of a virtual world would be, and how much use of it people will use. Like
I don't know. I think people spend too much time on fucking social media as it is.
Yes, yeah, which I think is a problem. I think the fact that you have to go physically put on goggles. Maybe people will have like, you know how those Ray-Bans with the cameras on them are coming out. Maybe they're going to be something like that. So people will have them in their pockets, or people will bring them with them and be able to put on the goggles and suddenly are in this world. Or maybe the chips start coming in where you have chip in your brain and you're able to access it any time, which is kind of really futuristic, kind of freak you out kind of shit.
I don't like shit like this.
Yeah, but I was kind of thinking it, but like, you know, when like if your friends like are organizing a poker night and you have something on, let's say you have to go somewhere else, or maybe you have a date or what, but your friends, you always do on a Friday night, you always play like Dungeons and Dragons. Imagine you could upload your consciousness, so you're not there physically, but your consciousness is there. In terms of your avatar knows how you think, knows how you act, knows how you would play Dungeons and Dragons from previously kind of algorithms of tracking of how you act. So you kind of can predict how you'd react in a situation pretty well. And we've already seen the start of this where we get ads directed at us in terms that we like. Like for instance, on my Instagram, I'm only getting Spider-Man content because I purposely, anytime I see a Spider-Man thing on Instagram, I click into it. And now if you look on my Instagram, it used to be like, for some reason, it used to be just all CrossFit. I think I watched a CrossFit like documentary, and I got really into like trying to learn how to clean and jerk. So I used to have those videos of people cleaning and jerking and lifting weights. Now it's just Spider-Man. It's just all Spider-Man.
That sounds like a really weird thing.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, like, you watch some real shit, but like in terms of, that's just like a very basic way of an algorithm predicting what you're into. Imagine if it could predict how you think, and it sort of pretty much can at this stage. So you could actually have your avatar go play Dungeons and Dragons with your friends. You could go out on your actual day, and then your friends have the experience of you playing Dungeons and Dragons as you always have, but you're actually out living your own life.
Yeah, no,
yeah. But what about this? And we've seen this in what you call it, Black Mirrors, where people uploaded their consciousness to like this digital world after they die, and so basically their consciousness lives on. And so, like, if you had like a family member, I don't know if people would come overly attached to that, where that would be like them getting over them would just mean they'd spent couples amount of time with them on this digital platform, and maybe this wouldn't be healthy.
Yeah, regardless of what happens with it, it's not going to be healthy.
Yeah. Well, I think once people
just the whole idea is just not healthy.
Yeah, we've all been in that situation where either you're in a van or you're in a restaurant with your friends, or you're on the bus, and if you just look around and everyone's on their phone, and like, although I've said, like, in terms of, I think people always fear the future, always fear future technology, and don't think it's good. Imagine if you take someone from the 80s, right, and you show them what people are doing in restaurants where everyone is just walking around on their phone. They're scared of this rectangular thing and just scrolling on it and not interacting, not talking. They have headphones in, and instead of like talking to people in restaurants, they're scrolling on their phone. And I know there's a kind of now social editing where like it's seen as rude to be on your phone, like when you're with other people. But I've noticed myself loads of times. I'd be around like either family or friends, and people would be talking, and I'd be on my phone, and I have to go, I have to physically put it down or put it somewhere where I can't get it easily. So I can see where, take that one step further, where people are spending a little bit too much time on some digital world.
I don't think it's a good idea at all. I think it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, what do you think of Mark Zuckerberg being the person behind this, though? What do you think of Facebook being the?
This is my issue with Mark Zuckerberg, right?
Yeah, well, somebody's going to create it anyway. Like, this thing is coming. You see Elon Musk having that chip that you put in your brain, and there's Google's also trying to. So there are going to be, like, no matter, we're going to get a virtual world eventually.
Right, my problem with Mark Zuckerberg is that people have been going for fucking years saying, "Oh, don't trust him, don't trust him, don't trust him, don't trust him." Oh yeah, here, I'll spend more time on your fucking shit. He's spying on you, but I'm going to give him all this personal information about myself.
Yeah, like the fact that like he was able to tap into like people's data, people's interests is a commodity, and it can be used to sell. Like, and it's worth so much, and then people don't actually realize that it's a commodity and will give away free without thinking about it. And he became like the company, not he, but the company became like billionaires over like discovering this new commodity. Now, personally, when it comes to like directed advertising, I'd rather be directed at like stuff that I like rather than shiwis. Like every now and again, you get shiwi, the algorithm fucks up, and they're like, "Here's this lovely Nike gown," or this like, what do you call those tops where it just shows off boobs, like a blouse, tank tops. You get like tank tops, and it's just like, all right, well this is not for me. But like the algorithm kind of messes up and it goes, oh, maybe he'll spend a bit of time on this, because all they're waiting for is you either clicking into something, because if you click on something, they know you like it. But if you pause for like 30 seconds or whatever amount of time and stop on something before going on, they also know that you have a slight interest in that. They're using all this.
Like I don't trust anything.
So you're against it. What would be your biggest worry about this?
It's just like people spend too much time as it is on social media and shit, like, and it's just going to make it worse. Like, there's going to be fucking entire generation of people are just going to have no contact with actual real people.
That's kind of already happened. I think the whole horse is kind of bolted on that. Like, if you look up like kids who get really obsessed about online game playing, and it's now like $1 million industry. You have kids who are fucking like super rich and famous in a very niche market of online gaming, and they spend like hours. Like there's actual football teams buying gamers to play online. Like they're signing actual contracts, and I think there's like the first ever financial transfer of a gamer to one team to another happened there a while ago. Like it's insane that like that has went that far already, that people are making actual careers playing video games. Considering when you like back in the 70s, it was just like a ping pong.
Yeah, but people still make careers out of video games in the 70s.
Wasn't it more making games rather than people watching them play?
No, like people like used to make serious money out of playing like fucking ping pong and what was the other one? Pac-Man.
Isn't there like, yeah, I think there's like what's the ping ball? There's like a championship that you could win, and you won actual money for it. But they would like, I think the level of event has went more. Like people spend already, like you said, too much time online, metaverse or this kind of virtual reality, because there's so many companies putting so much money into it. It's going to really be hard to stop it. So I think we just kind of need to regulate it, get ready to regulate it almost.
I just think it's just fucking stupid. I won't be fucking using it anyway.
I think you say that now, but like you want to fight Machine Gun Kelly, you could fight Machine Gun Kelly in this metaverse.
Yeah, or I could find Machine Gun Kelly and fight Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, but like imagine a virtual reality fight where you don't actually get brain damage.
Yeah, or imagine a real fight where you can actually just fight him.
It could be like you and the Big Show against Machine Gun Kelly and Rey Mysterio. Like in a steel cage death match. With Bruce Buffer doing the commentary.
I don't like shit like this.
But like I kind of feel like it's coming anyway, so we're just gonna have to get used to it, and then like be able. I still think we still will have. I don't think it'll be like Ready Player One, where the outside world goes to shite because people are spending too much time on the online world. Like we've had online gaming, we've had likes of FIFA or UFC games. If anything, it has just grown interest in those sports where people still play football out in the streets, but they'll also play it in here, and you'll have people actually who start playing UFC games and go, oh, I really like this mixed martial arts thing. I'm going to actually go to my local MMA gym and start mixed martial arts. Like we've had people who started playing UFC games and like got really into it and wanted to go to the gym, came to the gym and trained.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like it is an interesting word. I kind of feel like it's coming anyway. Like this trying to stop it now is not going to what do you call it? It's a bit late. Like there's too many billionaires putting too much money in. I think the whole, that computer chip into your brain thing. I don't know about that. I know I've said that I'm not fully against it, and I'm not still fully against it. I think there's applications where it could be really useful, like with people who are blind or autistic or stuff like that. If it can cure certain diseases or illnesses like that, then it might be worth looking into, or even have it as a like you can track your overall health, gives a diagnostic of your overall health and can predict changes in your body, so you can take preventive action. Could be a good thing. But yeah, being able to be tracked by the government or the dark web and be able to kill from a hacker hacking into your computer chip is a bit freaky.
Yeah, see, I'm still going to go with no.
And like this brings us on to our next thing with sex dolls, because like everything, sex dolls have become digitalized and become robotized.
Have they?
Well, you can get robot sex dolls.
Fair enough.
Yes, so like IT guy or web expert, security expert, has set out early warning for future generations who might partake in these like internet connected sex dolls.
Right.
So there's big worry about these things that, like, if you're a very introvert person, like you could just buy Margaret Robbie looking like sex doll instead of actually going out and talking to the girls, and you'll have these online gamers who develop zero social skills and just get obsessed with very obedient robot doll that they can have their way with anytime they want. But and there's a whole other thing. I remember some woman gave a talk on like the dangers of this. But a tech security expert has said that anything that's connected to the internet can be hacked, and that if people want to take out sinister acts against you, and know you have one of these dolls, could hack the doll and be able to, in theory, kill you. So what do you think about this?
Yeah, I think if you get killed by a sex doll, you deserve it.
Yeah, I kind of feel that same thing. Like, and I think if a person wants to go to that much trouble to kill you, you should really look at yourself and ask yourself, why is that person trying to kill me? Because it could be you. You could be the problem.
You're definitely the problem.
You're definitely the problem. Yeah, it's like I remember there's some comedian who had a joke about this. He's talking about automatic rifles, and he's like, if you need an automatic rifle to defend your house, maybe you're the problem.
Yeah,
you should take out that there's a small militia trying to kill you, and that it could be you.
It's 100% you.
And I kind of feel like if someone's going to go to the trouble to hack your sex doll to kill you, it's going to be like you probably not deserve to die, but you've probably done something to piss a few people off. Maybe you should look at your whole life as a balance. I just think it's mad that like we're talking about a possible world of where people are not only living with robots, digital robots, but are in relationships, and like this is an actual realistic thing in the next few years. Yeah,
the people are fucking their robot.
Well, people are already doing that. It's kind of just like its technology is limited. like of what I can do. I think it can have like somewhat conversations with it, like but I think mostly it, like someone said it's right now it's very unlikely. Said like most of these dolls are made out of silicone and could not or like really yield enough strength to be able like to physically harm a fully grown adult.
Like, just two things. Like, first of all, you see, during the week there was some this thing has kind of happened twice. So during the week there was some like artificial intelligent robot thing, and people had been like doing like experiments on how much it can learn and stuff, and it's connected to the internet, and it became extremely racist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it became extremely racist because it was just.
I wonder if that's an evolutionary trait.
Yeah, it was just getting all this information off the internet.
And what was being racist towards? Was it the Jews?
It was being racist against anybody who wasn't white.
Oh, well, that's odd, because I would have thought, I'm going to throw around giant stereotypes here. Like, it was probably developed by an Asian tech company, and it would went on decided more the Orientals.
Yeah, no, it became like massively like fucking white supremacist. So they switched it off and destroyed it.
Imagine, yeah, like I think there was like I don't know if it was like the Chinese government or maybe it was Google. Or there was some tech firm that were creating was looking into AI robots, and it started talking about a human zoo. And
yeah,
like,
Facebook.
What?
Facebook developed that.
No, I don't think it was Facebook. I think
Facebook, a couple of years ago, Facebook developed artificial intelligent thing that was communicating. There's two of them communicating with each other.
Yeah.
And they came to the conclusion that the problems were humans, and humans should be caged in zoos.
And delete. But
And now he wants everybody to sign up to this fucking, from what you're saying, this metaverse thing.
Human
that is
basically.
A human fucking zoo.
Maybe he is robot though. And he is, because he has no emotion. Like, this is like, he's probably the worst person to create a metaverse, because he's devoid of any emotional intelligence by the looks of him.
Yeah, but that's his public persona.
Well, like, imagine he'd have a better public persona.
Well, why? Because it's working for him. Made him a billionaire.
I don't know. I think it has made people very suspicious of him.
Yeah, but sure, everybody's suspicious of them all. Like, everybody's suspicious of fucking Bill Gates, like, is a fucking pretty decent personality. Everybody's suspicious of the fuck is him.
Yeah, that's all the fucking conspiracy whack jobs, though.
Elon Musk, like, suspicious as fuck of him.
Well, he wants to create a computer chip that you put in your brain. We should be asking questions of a person who wants to do that. And he also wants to nuke Mars. like
Richard Branson is probably the only one that I don't think anybody is paranoid about.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, but he has emotion. He has, like, he's not devoid of emotion. He also bought an island that got destroyed. So he's likely to like put his money into stupid things as well. So people see like a quality they can relate to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, it is mad that like all these technologies, at least very few people. But I can't believe it. Why did it come like racist? Did it say like what was it getting fed?
It's just like it was programmed that it was going to be like, continuously learning. So like it was constantly like trawling the internet like for information and learning things. And then it just started being like incredibly racist. In like what way? Would it say like it would just be saying like horrible stuff about different races, like. Alright. Kind of weird. And it was just like regurgitating shite that it found on the internet. Yeah, see, there's a lot of misinformation. So even like, how like people come across misinformation, we're like, how are these fucking idiots fucking believing this shite? It just shows like
virtual intelligence is also believing this shite, though. Like, we have to probably cut them a bit of slack. We all can't be brilliant like us.
Well, the difference is that the virtual thing doesn't know any better.
Yeah, it's only about 3 or like whatever years old it is.
Like, it can't actually like really learn things. Like, people say it's learning, but it's not really learning. It's just
it's gonna be hard to like learn what like morality is, and also like when it comes to like these matters, these programmers are going to program it in line of what their morals are, which then you have to ask the question of the people who are programming and what are their moral compasses and what are their biases, because we all have biases, and you kind of already see this with kind of likes of Twitter and Facebook and other kind of tech companies like YouTube and Google, which like pretty much banned like Alex Jones from the internet, like kicked off Alex Jones from the internet, like has silenced.
I think he did a pretty good job of that himself, though.
Yeah, like in terms of the shit that he said, I think he's definitely accountable to be held for his actions, but like the US court has already like filed like a defamation course for stuff that he has. So there is laws in place around defamation. They can't just libel somebody.
The problem with Alex Jones, though, is that he's got. I personally don't think Alex Jones is really serious.
No, I think he's playing a character.
But the people that follow him are serious.
Yeah, like he I think he kind of trolls people a little bit, but then people fully believe him.
That's the problem.
Yeah, but like it takes into question of like if these metaverses are to be public places, can you fully ban people like from these things? Can you ban?
Yeah, you can. Exact same way that you can stop somebody going into a shop. It's not really a public place because it's privately owned.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. Like, you could silence, like if all these tech companies are leaning in a certain way, they could silence the political point of view and take that away. And I think there's that fear of it as well.
Like, they can do whatever they want because it's not like publicly owned. It's not a public area.
Well, see, that's the problem about having these things. Then you're basically silencing political point of views, political stuff like this, and even closing down debates. And we've kind of seen stuff like this. People being banned for questioning all sorts of kind of like mental illnesses or other kind of areas of like society, because people are saying it's basically attacking us, a minority group.
Well, that's what it's like. You can't really, like, you can't say, "Oh, I'm going to use this private company's product," but like, I don't agree with what they're doing with it. Like, so if you don't agree with what they're doing with it, then don't fucking use it.
That's like banning, but like the equivalent of that, like if you go back to the 70s, that's banning people from using the telephone. Surely.
Yeah, but like it's a private company using their thing, like, so they can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, but I think that's what we have to.
The easiest way to describe this in a minute is, right, you've got people going into shops. So say like before the pandemic, somebody goes into a shop and they're being abusive. You'd be like, okay, you need to get out of my shop. We're not serving you. Fuck off. And everybody's like, yeah, that's a good thing to do. That's the right thing to do. But now somebody goes in not wearing a mask. They're like, you're being discriminatory against me because this is a public area. No, it's not a public area. It's a private area. And I'm telling you what you can and can't do in here. So get out.
Yeah, but we also inhumane to deprive people of food as well.
Yeah, but you're not depriving them of food. You're telling them that these are the rules you have to obey if you want to come in and buy food here.
Yeah, but like if you were banning them from like access to any food, and there wasn't any trial, so like if that person is put on a mask, they can come back in the shop. Whereas online, if you say these things, you can apologize, you can pay fines, but you're still banned for life. And there's no trial, there's no debate. It's these are our rules. We ban people, and we can keep them banned for life. Whereas that shop,
Yeah,
where
there doesn't need to be a trial. There doesn't need to be rules. Like that person puts on a mask, you still don't have to let them back in.
yeah, but like in terms of like you have people who are banned from the internet for life, and there's nothing that they can do. Like they're banned off this, and I think that's what we need to have. We need to have a place where like, you see what cancel culture has already done to like the film industry, to other industries. How people are saying it's divided. Like America is very polarized, and this is because of this kind of cancel culture, not listening to other people's views. And there's a danger of hiding away people's dark thoughts. We've seen this with like Nazi Germany, when you silence and push it down, and you don't get rid of it, you just push it underground, and it grows, and you can't track it. And instead of like trying to convince people the other way, you just take people and they block out anything else, and they become kind of polarized. You see this even with anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers. They get persecuted, so they double down on it, on these idiotic beliefs. So I think about pushing people out and not like listening to them, not hearing their point of view, not discussing, not having open debate is bad. And anytime you have that in society, it's really bad. It never ends up good.
But at the same time, there's some shit that you just can't say.
Well, who determines if you can or not say it? And it has to be open debate. Like there has to be open debate, no matter what the.
Yeah, but like, you can't have an open debate on certain things. Like you can't have an open debate on white supremacy.
Why not?
Why not? Because there's absolutely no fact behind it.
There's no facts. There's point of views.
Yeah, but that's like you can't have an open debate on that. A debate should be anything that you are able to debate or you want to debate. You should be able to back up with factual evidence.
People determine in their own mind what factual evidence is. It doesn't mean that you have to agree with it, but you can certainly. And there has been debates prior to this on white supremacy, on all sorts of stuff. We're young. We in terms of when these debates went on, but there's 100% there was in colleges there was debates on white supremacy. There was a belief a few years ago that white people were superior. It was a false belief.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what disproved it? Fact.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still, you have to have this debate. You have to be able to talk to people. You have to be able to convince them to your side. You have to be able to listen to them, to hear their point of view, hear how they come across.
I don't know. I think you can't, like, letting everybody say and do whatever they want on the internet is a dangerous thing to do. So
I think we've seen it can be very, very dangerous. But I think silence it doesn't push them away. And we've seen like groups like QAnon who are banned from the internet grow. So like it's not silencing a problem. It just pushes it underground and makes people double down on their beliefs. And I think when stuff is openly debated, generally, like, eventually it comes to, like, you do convince the majority of people to your way. Like, you convince the majority of people, like, there was, I think, 40, what was the percentage of men people that were at one stage considered to be in the Ku Klux Klan in parts of America? I think it was, like, something like 46%.
I have no idea.
I think it was something like that. It was something ridiculously high. And now we see stuff like movements like Black Lives Matter. Yeah,
but do you know what kind of probably helps?
That comes through debates and to arguments and people fighting for
their. But do you know what else happened there? The KKK was banned. Like they still are banned. Like
they're a terrorist organization, but they're still white supremacy groups.
It's punishment by, like, you get punished with fucking like jail time. Like that's what. affected the numbers of the KKK members. It wasn't people debating them. It was.
It was people debating their right for civil liberties.
No, it was people deciding that
it was protest.
Bullshit.
It was protest about not being allowed on buses. It was that's what drove these movements forward. It was people standing up for their rights, debating their right for this thing, and convincing people through their debates.
Yeah, but that didn't actually affect the membership of the KKK. It was people arrested and fucking going to jail for membership.
No, eventually, yeah, the society changed and said
because those people still exist. They're just not all members of the KKK anymore.
Yeah, exactly. But society has changed. The society has been won over.
What's acceptable to publicly admit in society has changed.
Yeah, well, I think most people aren't racist, as the internet wants us to believe. I think
I would actually think the opposite. I would think most people are racist. Just not to a degree that you're like, oh, we should all be segregated, or I don't trust.
Well, actually, in parts of America think that there should be segregations. Part of them thinks there should be two national anthems. Like that's coming back. And
like I just think
that when you draw lines, you draw sides on the line, and that's dangerous.
Like I think everybody is slightly racist.
I think everyone has biases. And I think the fact that we still use the word race proves, like, because there is only one race. Like, that's the stupid thing about the whole thing of racism. It's like, there is only one race, and we keep judging the idea of that there's multiple races. And there's people who believe there's multiple races. Like, that's stupid. Like, anyway,
well, we're one species.
We're one race. There's one race of human beings. There's the idea of a race. That word has not went away.
But every animal has different variants. Like so, like in that case, then there's only one breed of a dog. There's only one.
No, there isn't. Like
one type of lion. Like there is different within the species. There is different branches. There's a difference between a gorilla and a baboon, but there's no difference between a person who was born in Africa and a person who was born in America or Ireland. How about like an
Asian
lion and an Indian lion? Like there is differences.
That's just they're born on different continents, but there is
a
different species would be a baboon and a gorilla. But there's
But dog breeds, like there's like differences between wolves. German Shepherds and Jack Russells.
There's
differences between wolves and
they're not different races.
Chihuahuas.
There's if you Google it, how many races there are, it'll say there's one race.
Yeah, but it's just because we think that we're so superior that we just class things as different. Like we don't class ourselves as like fucking an animal, but we are an animal.
No, but
we don't class ourselves
in terms of
we don't class ourselves.
The scientific definition of what it takes for actually to have a separate race, like a Neanderthal would have been a separate race to human. And there was at the time there was different races of human beings or of human-like creatures. Like the Neanderthal was another, and there's like several other ones now that we constantly discover. But now there's only one. There's human beings. Everyone was the dominant species and evolved through mating mainly to create one race. But there is only one race, and like the fact that we're arguing this is the appalling nature that this is still taught to today.
I just think I just think there's no differences between them except that we look different. But like,
you think that because yeah,
why don't we apply the same thing to other animals then? Like
when we go on holidays, right? We get tans. We don't change species. Our skin darkens. So if that happened, we stayed in sunny climates, our skin would naturally darken. Our kids' skin would naturally darken. If this happened over several years, our skins would have our grandkids would have darker skin tones. They wouldn't change race. Over time.
Yeah, they wouldn't have an actually they wouldn't be born with a darker skin tone.
They would actually, because your pigments would change.
They wouldn't, because skin color is determined by the amount of myelin passed between parents, and if both parents are, so if both parents are like an Irish baby, like it's extremely rare for say two white parents to have a black baby.
Yeah, but but when those pigments change over time, I'm not saying your kids will be born white. But
that's something that you can't change. Like the kid is gonna be born white and tan over time as it grows up and it gets exposure to the sun. It's not going to be born tan.
As that kid would grow and would mingle with other kids from this continent, meet people, would darken over time. Your generations would evolve that it would have a darker skin, especially if it was mating with people from that area. And that's
if your kids, like if your kid, if
I was saying generations, that your kids would change, but wouldn't change race.
Like if you go and you move to fucking some part of Africa, and your kids marry like an African people and whatever, then your grandkids and stuff are going to start, their skin tone will start changing, but your kids won't.
What do you mean? Your kids would have darker skin because they're exposed to sunlight.
But it's not going to change if your kids then have another kid. So if you and your girlfriend and somebody else, another couple from Ireland, like another white Irish couple, go to Africa, and your kid and their kid have a baby, it's still going to be a white kid. But if your kid has a baby with somebody who's born in Africa, it's going to be, unless there were a white person born in Africa, it's going to have a different skin tone. Skin tone.
Have you ever seen a white person in Africa?
Yeah.
Have you ever compared them to white people in Ireland?
Yeah, white people in Africa are still white people.
Yeah, but you ever seen the color difference of our skin?
Yeah, but that's just because exposure to the sun. Like, but when their kids are born, their kids are still white.
Yeah.
Yeah, their kid's skin tone doesn't change until
it has darkened over time. Their skin is darker
as the child gets older. The kid isn't born with a darker skin tone. The kid's skin tone gets darker.
Like, you can Google
older.
it if you want. There's one race, and the fact that we're arguing about this is ridiculous because it's been proven by science that there's one race. Like, this is not something that's debated anymore. It's widely accepted by scientists and biologists that there's one race of human beings, and the fact that it's still talked about, and the fact that we're talking about this. Is like if there was two different races, we wouldn't be able to mate. We wouldn't be able to have babies with people who are different skin colors like that.
Well, technically,
have you ever seen a gorilla baboon hybrid?
Well, I don't know if that's possible.
Exactly, because they're different species.
But you can breed two different species of dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can breed two different species of cat. You can breed two different species of giraffe, horse, donkey, and you can breed different. Actually, you can breed a donkey and a fucking zebra.
How many races of human beings are there? Because we're keep going.
Right. So how?
Hold on.
The world population can be divided into four major races, namely white, Caucasian.
All right. Well, that's not right. All right. I thought Wikipedia. There's a typical internet thing. Just find it until the person agrees with me. 1930s, 1950s. Eventually, okay. We're not going to get into this. We're not going to agree, and our show is really not about race or serious matters.
So I Google it and it says 5.
There are 5. Yeah. Well,
5 races: Black, Australian, Bushman, Oriental, white.
All right. Wait, where does it say here? Scientific community suggests that the idea of race is inherently native, symptomatic. Still, others argue that among humans, race has no significance to all living humans belong to the same subspecies. Oh, okay. All right. So,
Yeah, like, I'm not saying that there's any difference between races. I'm just saying that like there is on the outside looking at people there is a difference, but on the inside they're not. Like we're all the same on the inside, but we do look different.
no one's saying that people don't look different. So I was just saying that the idea that there's variant races,
like, and there's no way of changing it. Like there's no way of changing the fact that you are white, and if you have kids with a white woman, she's going to have a white baby.
Yeah, but
except
if
in
you
very rare
move,
circumstances.
if you move countries, right?
Yeah, your skin tone's not going to change.
Over time, over generations, your skin tone will change.
Only if when your kids start,
because the melatonin in your body, your kids' melatonin levels will change, because at the time of where your not melatonin, whatever the pigment skin is, it's going to be a lot higher. And if someone who's also been lived there, who's white, have higher levels of whatever that pigment is in that term skin color is also high, there's a chance that your kid will inherently take your DNA and have slightly darker skin. It won't mean that they'll turn eventually like to a really dark color of skin, but eventually they'll have a slight lightening of color.
Right, Google it.
No, because we're nearly out of time, and this is the same shit we do every time. We get into some stupid debate where we keep rehashing the same thing, and I'm getting onto 80s a week because like I don't think we'll agree. It doesn't make good content. It's really bad content. It makes
us arguing, it's always good.
No, it makes like fucking really bad content, and we run out of time. People just end up getting frustrated. And you don't hear idiots of the week, so we're getting on to idiots of the week. We're nearly out of time. We had 3 stories. I thought our show would be half an hour long, and it's turned into like an hour debate over whether there's a race or not, which was be scientifically proven that there isn't. We're all part of the same species. I'm standing by that.
Yeah, we're all the same species, but there's different subgroups inside that species.
Is there now?
Yeah.
I think this is leading to racism in terms of racist subgroups. This is very can a white person not be African?
Yeah, a white person can be African.
No,
and a black person can be Irish.
Yeah, I'm just trying to trip you up here at this size. We'll move on to Idiots of the Week. This is part of the show created for idiots, by idiots, as you can probably tell by our last conversation. And it's people doing really dumb things, and we've one Idiot of the Week. Do you want to know where she's from?
Where is she from?
She's from New Zealand. This is our first New Zealand Idiot of the Week. So congratulations, New Zealand. You're finally on the board. And this is very, very. I think at the start of the show, this is the story you're most excited about.
Yeah, this one intrigued me.
She was held up hostage by a very odd creature called a possum. It's basically like a squirrel, isn't it? A possum. It's kind of that kind of same rodent family.
It's more like it's like a big rat.
Yeah, she was held hostage, but not only that, she called the police because she'd been held hostage by a possum. I would love to hear how that conversation went. Unfortunately, we didn't get the dialogue. So the story goes, she was unpacking her car when she felt something crawl up her leg. She pulled it off thinking it was just a cat. But when she realised it was a possum, she ran inside to her home and locked herself inside. Apparently, every time she peeked through the door, the possum ran at the glass with bloodthirsty look in its eyes. She didn't say bloodthirsty looky, but kept running towards the glass. So she felt like it was going to probably eat her or something. So she probably did the right thing initially, and she contacted some fucking pest control, animal control, but they didn't care, and they refused to help her. So she was like, they're like, just call the police. So they were like, fuck it, it couldn't be ours. It's a possum. So, so she rang the police, and the police, so yeah, like I said, they suggested ring the police, and upon arrival, it became apparent to the officers that this was no ordinary possum.
Oh, it was a vicious possum.
I've lost where I was. Ordinary possum. There we are. As it tried the same shit with the officers as it did with her.
Oh.
When the officers approached the door, the possum came and scaled the leg of one of the officers.
Did it have rabies or something?
What? I don't know.
Did it have rabies?
I think this is just false information spread by the human race to like put down animal creatures that they all carry rabies. I don't know if necessarily all animals do carry rabies. I think rats have a high percentage of rabies, and like if you get bitten, you should probably get tetanus anyway. I think that's a good kind of like
possums definitely carry rabies.
Do they now? But I can. I'm going to side on the side of the possum here. I kind of feel I'm against history, and most times we talk about things. Yeah, but anyway, when they tried the same shit as they tried with the officer, as it did, as it scaled up the leg as it approached the door. Now, this is very unusual behavior. I think you'll agree, for a wild animal to crawl up the leg of a human. Usually, they're quite fearful of humans.
Unless they're ferrets.
Why are ferrets? No.
Ferrets are known for crawling up the leg of your trousers, yeah.
Oh, well, this is with possums, so maybe possums are the same thing. So this led the officers' belief that it wasn't, in fact, a murderous possum. And in fact, it was probably just somebody's lost pet.
Why was it charging at her at the glass then?
It was just coming to her. So it probably thought it was playing with her. She's like, peekaboo, and he ran up and goes, where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, there she is.
Bloodthirsty looking inside.
Yeah, exactly. Just want to be petted. So apparently possums were once thought to be a pest, but has actually came over the last few years like increasingly a pet. So they think maybe somebody has got fed up with their possum and just threw back out into the wild, and it was domesticized, and we wanted to just run up to the leg of its new owner and pet it.
It's a really weird thing to keep as a pet.
Yeah, well, it is New Zealand. It's either that or sheep, surely, because you kill all their little birds. Kiwis. They only have 3 animals. Well, I think the kiwi is extinct. They didn't kill it personally. I think it just died out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they probably did die out because they were eating it.
Yeah, there is an alternative, more sadder story to what possibly could have happened. It could have been a juvenile who lost his mother and needed a new home.
Was looking for a new mammy.
I was looking for a new mammy, and your one had the emotional intelligence to see a lost baby.
She wasn't having any of it.
Wasn't having anyway. But anyway, thankfully, it didn't end in a shootout between the police and the possum. Neither possum nor the attendant officers came to blows, and the animal was transported to a secure location before being released into the wild, and the woman was subsequently freed from her home and allowed to take her shopping in.
And I'm hoping she was laughed at.
There's probably been jokes made by the police. I don't think she contacted the papers to get the story released. Let's just say that.
Well,
she wasn't named in the story.
Because they sometimes papers will offer money for stories.
Oh, that is true, but she wasn't named, and she was constantly referred to as the alleged victim.
Well, the fact that she wasn't named would make me think that it definitely was her that went to them.
Would you think so? Because if the officer...
And she was like, "Oh, I'll give you this story. Just I don't want to be named. Keep me anonymous, please."
Yeah. Has this ever happened to anyone you know? Any parents or family members or friends ever fled to their house because of a possum or an animal being fearful? I know my sisters are terrified of spiders.
I remember when I was a kid, my dad woke up in the middle of the night. He heard like a woman screaming in the garden.
Was it you?
When he pulled back the blind to like look out and see what the fuck was going on, there was a fox sitting on the windowsill, screaming in at him. You ever hear the noise a fox makes? Fox sounds like a screaming woman when it makes a noise.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's crazy. That is.
That's most of the time when people think they hear a banshee, it's actually a fox
having sex.
No, just being a fox.
Maybe it is a banshee. Did we wipe out banshees?
Banshees?
Was it St. Patrick? Ireland's original pest control.
St. Patrick.
Yeah, St. Patrick. Wiped out the banshees in 1807.
The old banshees, yeah. That's what it mostly is. It's usually a fox.
Maybe fox is the banshees, the Irish for fox.
I was actually in a forest at like 2:00 in the morning one time, me and my friend, and we were like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah. Did you possibly sample any of the wild mushrooms of the area?
No, it was just a fox.
Right. And it had glowing yellow eyes.
Yeah, and it was
and
fucking
teeth as
freaking
wide
everybody
as you
out.
could see.
And it had
and it grew to 6 feet tall. 7 dicks.
It was like that episode
all pointed at my ass as it ran away.
The episode of Father Ted where they got the beast.
The beast. Yeah. I think there's Irish people in general have an overactive imagination. So we always get these tales of witches and banshees and
beasts.
Yeah. Creeping.
These beasts that sound like Liam Neeson chasing hens around a barrel.
But like we still have fucking poo talkers, don't we? We still have people who make up shite. It isn't as elaborate as a banshee, but you still have the lad that fucking. Oh yeah, I had 7 pints and I drove home and I was fine. Yeah, I actually drive better when I'm drunk. That kind
I think though everywhere has that.
Yeah, I think maybe. Well, I think
I don't think it's just an Irish thing. I think we're just better at it.
Are we even good at it?
Yeah, we're good at it.
All right. We are amazing. That is true.
We're just good at shite talk.
That is to be decided. As yet to be decided, I should say. And maybe we are. Maybe we are the world's greatest shite talkers. There is a lot of Irish podcasts that all shite talk.
Yeah, the Irish people. You're just good at talking shit.
I think that's why podcasts are so popular in Ireland. Like, we're one of the higher countries for listening to podcasts. As our listeners can contest by this survey done by Mark Googling 4 things.
Yeah, this survey completed by Google.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good to see is the Hey Google thing back?
No, that's my phone.
No.
Yeah, I still have to work out my internet situation. I'm hotspotting. This podcast is done by a hotspot because I can't get
this podcast brought to you by
Mark's personal hotspot. So I have to hotspot so I can talk to you via internet. I have to hotspot my phone. Yeah. So it's kind of shit.
Wi-Fi still shite around NAS.
NAS, Nori. Yeah. Unfortunately, until that improves, I think it's just my house. Realistically, I think everywhere else has a good internet. There's just a black spot over this place. But yeah,
it's a bit weird. Like
what?
It's a bit weird, like that. Like a town. There's spots in the town that have shite. Like
I think it's our walls are too thick. That's what the people say. These concrete walls you have here, solid build.
Good for bomb shelter. Bad for Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly. Keeps the house nice and warm, but fuck you. You can't access your own personal internet. But anyway, we'll leave it there, and we'll be back next week with maybe not as contentious arguments or topics. I actually thought this was going to be a light-hearted show. I actually thought I was going to be like, yeah, do you know, this is finally, we've brought the fun back to the Shite Talk podcast show, and we're only going to be having the crack. We end up getting into a big argument about race, but sure, look, isn't that our podcast?
Well, like, I know that there's definitely one person out there that loves when we get into an argument.
Who's this, Rory?
Yeah.
I should actually apologize. I don't know if I named the person. Remember, I said somebody outed me on the about washing for feet to head. Apparently, I named the wrong person, so I don't know if I named them personally. But it wasn't the person that I give a lift to every day to training. It was in fact Rory. But I remember that story differently. Now I was drinking, so like.
Oh, I wonder why you remember that differently.
Yeah, I was also wearing a nice suit, 3-piece, I think. Sipping on brandy with one finger in the air.
You were wearing your green jumper.
Yes, yeah, it's wearing my green jumper. I was in my own virtual reality world. Brought to you by pints of Guinness.
Pints of Guinness and
where you never save what happened, so you don't know if it did or not.
Stew and potatoes.
So yeah. Anyway, we'll leave it there. We're back next week with our 119th show. I don't know if 120 is a big enough thing to celebrate. I don't think it is. What do you think, Ken?
I think it is.
Oh, countdown to 120. A big show, our 120th show. Get ready. We have so much planned. But yeah, we're back next week. Talk to you then.
You look.
Shut up and sit down.